Last month when you were talking about Tyler Davis, you mentioned that when you went back to watch the film from last season, he really jumped out to you. You said two parts, just like, what was it that jumped out to you that maybe during the grind of the season that kind of eluded you, but then like how have you seen it build on that during this game?
I think it was, we really liked him and trusted him last year. Like I talked, Giff always handles the rotations in games, and I just think of him like a starter. If I see him out there, I never think twice about it. And I felt that way last year. I think it was more of a level of play and how he did it, and how he played the run, and how he was able to hit blocks and play combination blocks and understand what nuances. And I think this year what he's done is he's kind of upped his level of communication where Kobe Turner's obviously the leader, the guy communicating in front. We put a lot on those guys with the front adjustments. We don't have our linebackers trying to line those guys. Those guys kind of align themselves. And he's kind of taken a step in that direction where if he's in and Kobe's not in, he's the guy that they're all looking to communicate.
You guys have been intentional about you and Sean opportunities to win preseason. Just what's been behind that approach? Reminds me of when they make those times.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. Just trying to give them all opportunities. Like a lot of those guys would be in, as a young guy would probably be in with a guy that doesn't have the rebound. So it's like you want to be able to have the time where you chance to put the ball. If he ever was in one of those older guys, he's probably not going to have it. So you give him a chance to just worry about his responsibilities, not have to worry about giving everybody a call. And kind of the same thing with Sean. So just kind of moving it around, giving those guys an equal opportunity to show them, that they can't communicate. You have the green dot, and that when they don't have it, they can just focus.
Sean talked yesterday about the increase in lineup carries during training camp this year. How have you felt the impact of that on your defense?
Yeah, you're just going against an elite offensive opponent, and you got to be on your stuff. At times, we just want high-level ball all around. So, if you're not completely on your stuff, they're going to make it look good. You just see it with the women on the line of scrimmage or on the perimeter. They obviously got elite receivers, a great back. So it's just really tough challenge to go against every single day. So, when you see it, when it's good on good in the competition, I definitely think that when players realize it gets you ready for the season.
Coach, what's the biggest difference in yourself from year one going into this season as opposed to going into last?
I feel like it's night and day. I just it's more of being confident in the system, confident in the guys, and the staff's connected. Not that we weren't at this time last year, but I just think where we evolved to, where we finished, kind of where we picked up in the offseason. We still started from square one and kind of fine-tuning a lot of things. Just had a lap around the track. And you understand your process, you understand what you need going into a game plan, what our guys do well, and now you can implement that into some training camp stuff and build that into those things.
Fisk was telling us yesterday that there's this quote that defensive line, meet me there when it comes to getting to the quarterback. Can you speak to that kind of iron sharpens iron that those guys are developing and have developed?
Yeah, those guys rush as a unit. So we talk about it. You're not rushing as forward, isolated. Just guys just trying to beat your guy. There's guys. When you're in a four-man rush, there's certain guys that are going to have the tough down. There's certain guys that are going to have the opportunity to go win. And those guys understand when it's their opportunity and when it's their turn to win. If they have the tough down, they might have to be the guy that kind of secures the QB in the pocket, different things like that. So I think it's just a real unselfish group. Really all four of them, or whoever's really in there, that they just have to play off each other and celebrate each other's success.
It seems like you have to have pretty high character guys as well as athletic guys to achieve that.
100%, yeah, and that really goes for the whole defense. Just guys that love football, guys that have high character. Those are the guys that have been succeeding here really since we got here. We are fortunate where we brought in a kind of group of those guys, and you see them just rise together.
Saw Ty Hamilton working after practice with Tyler and Kobe yesterday. Just what have you thought about the mindset of these guys?
Yeah, you just continue to get better and better and get more comfortable. Like we said, we put a lot on those guys as far as adjusting. Where you come from a college game and a lot of those is gun offenses, spread out offenses. You're really just playing a three technique, a shade or a 2-eye. Where he's playing a lot more different techniques, different run schemes, under center, gap schemes. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So he's just continuing to get better and better every single day. He's a guy that just puts his head down, goes to work every single day. we see the potential in him and taking him under the wing.
Chris, you guys made no changes in the secondary personnel wise, which is rare at any position in the NFL. But what went into your guys' thoughts in terms of going with the guys you have and not adding through the draft or free agency?
Yeah, that might be more. We feel really comfortable with those guys. We feel like we have a really cohesive unit. You kind of add Forbes into the mix. And, we were fortunate enough that those guys stayed healthy really the back half of the year. Those guys really started to get better and better and better. We brought a killer in. Remember at some point, week 3, 4, 5, whatever it was, and those guys really started to gel. So we really wanted to continue to build on the cohesiveness of those guys. We feel really comfortable with those guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.